What's going on, golf fans? It's your boy Gsluke here with our round 2 prop preview for the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. Instead of doing it live, we have it in this video format because I'm having some internet issues over there at the house. So whenever we get the internet back, I'll go ahead and upload this video for you guys. But here in this video, we're going to break down everything you need for your exposure for tomorrow, including a look at the weather report, some of the averages around the golf course today, as well as my top pieces of exposure over there in Underdog and Prize Picks to get you ready for your Friday action. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on in. So first thing we're going to go through are the averages out there from round 1, which you can see on the screen right now. So a 2.29 under par scoring average, which is about 68.71 strokes. Birdie average at just over 4.5 per round, 4.57 per round to be exact. Bogey average 2.24 per round. And then the fairway and green regulation averages you can also see down there at the bottom, and just under 8 fairways per round, and then just under also 13 greens regulation per round are what you had out there for the field. But really the main talking point out there from day to day is going to be this weather forecast, which is extremely unpredictable at this point. Normally, we default to this HRRR forecast as it is the most accurate wind forecast that we have for any of these rounds, but we have some thunderstorms in the mix as well. So over here, you can see it's going to be a little bit windier in the morning, but that's because of some storms heading through. So over here on the regular forecast out there for Friday, you can see that they have scattered, isolated thunderstorms out there the entire morning, which means that there's a chance that we get some delays tomorrow. If there's delays, no one would be on the golf course out there for a lot of that windier part of the day, which means that after some rain comes through, gets a little bit calmer out there in the PM wave, the earlier guys, maybe they only play a few holes before some sort of delay comes through, could have perfect conditions there in the afternoon. Now, if there's no delay, there could be pretty spicy conditions over there in the morning wave, but still a soft golf course, one that plays well under 2 strokes under par, that you're going to see a lot of low rounds at. So I think whether they're playing in the morning or they're in the afternoon, the first half of tee times, and they're going to get a pretty solid set of conditions. It's just that it would be ideal for them if they had some sort of delay. Now, we also want to look at Saturday when we have delays that are possible out there on these rounds, because the PM guys, the guys in the second half of tee times for tomorrow, could have to finish their round on Saturday morning, and I would say that that would not be an ideal situation. Reason for that is that it's much cooler over there on the Saturday forecast, closer to just 53 degrees Fahrenheit, and also a little bit windier like you have tomorrow morning. So the weather, the timing of these storms potentially coming through could really send us through a loop when it comes to these averages. So as of right now, I'm not going crazy with my kind of exposure. I'm only going to be entering this one slip that we enter here together until we have a really good idea of the weather in the morning. So of course, for all of the live averages, the live weather report, also all the different slips that I end up entering as we get to action tomorrow morning, you can find that over there on my Patreon page. A link to that will be in the description of this video to go out there and check it out. Let's go through the action that we have for tomorrow. But right before we do so, I do want to go through some of these pins real quickly. We're not going to go hole by hole. We don't have the time to go fully in depth through all of them here together. I already did so myself out there on my own time. They're pretty much the same as today. You've got some that are a little bit trickier than round number 1. Like 9 was a front pin. Now it's in the back. That's a par 5. That might be a little bit less scoreable. But holes like 6 are easier pins. That's a potentially drivable par 4. 14, though, the one on the back side that's potentially drivable, looks like a little bit of a harder pin. So I would say it's a balanced pin sheet, some easier, some harder than what you had for today. Like 5, another par 5, is over there on the front side. So there's going to be scoreable holes as you always get around the Byron Nelson, one of the easiest golf courses that we get on the entire schedule. But the pin locations aren't a moving day setup. This isn't the kind of setup where they're giving them a whole bunch of birdies out there. I think it's going to be pretty spot in line with what you had for today. And if I was going to guess the scoring averages out there for tomorrow, it'd be pretty much exactly what you have with these round 1 averages. And that being said, let's go ahead and talk about our first slip here. So first off, we got this under on Trey Molinak's birdies, and then we're going to have this under on Jordan Spieth's strokes. So if you take these two together, you can get a 3.24x payout over here on the Underdog side. Over here on the Prize Pick side, it'd only be a 3x payout. So if you can get the Underdog lines, if you have access to both sites, that would be the preferred one to go out there and enter this combination on. But let's talk about why I'm on these two specific plays. So we're going to start with the Jordan Spieth under, who is an AM golfer. Obviously could have a delay that forces him into the PM wave, but I think no matter when he tees off, he's going to have some pretty solid conditions. I mean, you're talking 60-degree weather, not a whole lot of wind if it gets pushed out there to the PM. Even if it's a little bit breezier in the morning hours, you're still talking about probably at least a 2 under par scoring average. So for Jordan to shoot a 67, that's asking him to go out there and shoot -4. And while he doesn't have a line for comparison on the sports books, DraftKings, FanDuel didn't have anything posted for him as of putting up this video. They have a lot of the guys that are just a little bit lower in terms of talent level compared to him at 67.5 strokes. So a player that's a little bit of a top tier guy, right? A player with good course history around here, like a Jordan Spieth, I would argue should probably be even better value than the guys at 67.5. Now, probably not the whole way down at 65.5 like the sports books have Scotty Scheffler, but something like 66.5 or at the very least juiced under over there at 67.5 is likely where Jordan Spieth would come in. And the shots gained metrics are the other point that really gets me on to Jordan Spieth here. This is just round one, so these stats for the events are only from today. He gained just under a stroke off the tee today and then gained just under a stroke and a half over there with his approach play. So between the two shots gained ball striking categories, well over 2 strokes into the positive there, whereas the two short game categories around the green and the putter were both over a stroke into the negative. So, you know, this is the kind of stat profile where a player's hitting the ball well, both off the tee and with his irons. That's usually sustainable and can maintain from round to round. The short game is where it gets a lot more volatile. You have, you know, guys that'll gain 3 strokes one day and then lose 3 strokes the next. So Jordan Spieth sets up perfectly out there for some regression to the mean, and of course has that morning tee time, which if there's a delay, if you have those thunderstorms coming through, it would be an ideal situation out here for this given slip, because Jordan would get calm conditions, a wetter golf course out there in the PM hours, and also lift clean in place. I think that that's very likely going to be the case out there for tomorrow with those thunderstorms that they have in the forecast. So just everything you need to go out there and have a low round. On the other side, though, we have this under on Trey Molinax birdies, who he did have a really good round today, but if we take a look at the shots gained metrics over here, it was all the putter. I mean, he gained nearly 5 strokes out there on the greens. The 2 categories with the ball striking were just okay out there today. So he's the kind of guy that I could see coming back down to earth a little bit, right? Maybe not going out there and gaining 5 strokes putting for every single round. And if so, this is the perfect slip to go out there and hit, because the average today was only 4.57 per round. On sportsbooks, they do have a Trey Molinax birdie line posted, and he's at 4.5 birdies, juiced a little bit over, but we have that 5 in our back pocket, right? All the push equity at that sort of number, let alone if he comes back down to earth, right? It could come down crashing out there from the 8 birdies that he had today. So if you can't enter it on Underdog, that's the place to go out there and enter this sort of combination. But as I was mentioning before, for all the rest of the slips that I'm taking out there for round number 2, you can find those over there on the Patreon page. I'll be giving a weather update for my Discord members over there as we get that over there in the morning. And of course, for all the averages for any given round. But that's all I've got, guys. Best of luck with all of your exposure out there in round number 2, and I'll see you guys out there for the round 3 and 4 live streams.